Welcome back to Ginger Kid Outdoors, the only YouTube channel that brings you fine Swedish rainwear from Farmer Rain and goes over several different firearms from not only the United States, but from around the world. Today we're going to be going over, if I can pull it out, the Sig Sauer M18 once again, but I have managed to get my stuff that I ordered from Sig's website with their $150 rebate that they had through September 1st here for the Army 250th anniversary. Let's go ahead and go over what I've got in the box. This will be coming up next. The jackets I have out from Farmer Rain today are going to be a limited OD green and more of a shiny color. Now this was fabric that they purchased from a different manufacturer that had end-of-lifed the actual fabric and the coat design that they were making it in. So they purchased the fabric from them. So rather than all this old fabric going to a landfill, they manufactured coats in their design in it. This one, of course, as I mentioned, is a shiny green. This is basically an old oilskin Ruka fabric. And the other one is a shiny black. Now this is their newest production fabric that they have out in a Bio Plus, they call it. This fabric that they're here is not manufactured from any actual like fossil fuels. This is manufactured from a pine tar pine oil. So they've come up with a new way to manufacture rainwear that is more sustainable for our environment. Now, as I mentioned, let's go ahead and get into the reason why most people are going to be coming for this video is the M18. Of course, you can see these guns are right now unloaded. They've got empty magazines in them. But the biggest topic is going to be going over, not this one, but we're going to be going over the Sig M18, as you can see, drop safe, and everything I got from the Sig Sauer website to basically go on this gun. Let's go ahead and go over the stuff that I got from Sig Sauer on the next little portion of my video here. Now the question's everybody asking, are they drop safe? That one still did not reset the striker or drop it. And neither one of these two. And as you can see, as that one went flying out of frame, flashlight's still nice and tight on it. And it went about a good, I don't know, 8-10 feet. Still functioned as it should. So let's go over the Sig M18 here. What I got is a couple magazines. Now this will be going into a compact grip module that I got. And this is with a little bit of dirt on it from when it fell out of the box. This is my compact grip module. And this is going to be the regular carry grip module. And coming up next, I'm going to have the carry grip module on the handgun so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, luckily the wind has died down a little bit. Now, you're probably familiar with how to disassemble, just do the basic field strip on the 320. To remove the grip module, you pull your disassembly lever out, and then the easiest way that I've seen is make sure if you got safeties, the safeties are off, and you can just pull it right out like that. Now, if you've noticed, this is not the standard trigger in this anymore. I did already install the enhanced stainless steel trigger that Sig Sauer offers. Now, what I found is the easiest way to put these little guys back in here. You want to push that trigger in as you're pushing it in through the back, and then they will slide in just like that. Now this can get to be a little bit of a chore. You want to take what is the piece that's kind of cut down, use it to get started into your mechanism, and I just kind of like rotate it around until I finally get it to drop and lock in place. And then of course, push that back around into the disassembly. And then you just slide your upper group back on, rotate that back in, and everything is nice and locked up. Everything, do a full function check. Safety still functions. That looks pretty good. And magazine still slides in without an issue. Locks back, so you see a full basic function test. Now the only thing is with this one is this is a little bit bigger. The full dust cover will come all the way to the end of the 3.9-inch barrel on the M18, or if you're running a compact variant. Now there is a subcompact with a shorter barrel than this, and they do not recommend using the carry grip on that. As a result, your actual slide and barrel are going to sit like past, well not past, but before the end of your dust cover. So this will be the basic carry grip. Now this carry, you could actually put the carry on just the standard M17, because the M17 originally comes with the regular carry grip on it. That is not the X. Now of course this is an XCARRY, so your 17 round magazine does fit flush to the bottom of this. Now this will be our carry, as I mentioned. So this way I can still utilize all of my 17 round magazines and the 21 round magazines in my M18 if I so want to. But the first thing I've noticed is this grip module, and even the full grip module that is on my M17 here, this full grip module has a fairly stout grip to it. And I gotta say, the original is a little bit better feeling, which I don't know if I'm going to continue on. I do like a little bit more of a beaver tail, but with as high of a bore axis as this handgun has, you have no chance of getting slide bite off of this thing, as you can see, which if you manage to get bit by that slide, you were doing something you weren't supposed to. So it's not like the 1911s where the beaver tails come in handy, because your the webbing here will actually sit up over top the standard grip safety on those handguns, and when the slide comes back, you can actually pinch the hammer into that skin, where these aren't hammer fired, of course, because it's a striker, but you're still not going to run into any issue with any kind of like bite coming from that slide with how high this actually rides up there. Now I will compare the compact grip module to the regular grip module. And you can see that the compact does sit down a little bit lower, and a lot of the reviews I was reading, move that back to where it's actually supposed to be, the reviews I was reading was the compact should be a little bit shorter, which, if I move my hand, you can kind of see it is a little bit shorter in the actual overall length of it, and in the actual grip length as well. Now the first thing I noticed when I actually picked this up is this has got a way more rounded feel to it than the actual grip that is the other XCARRY grip, which is their full-size XCARRY grip. I'm going to go ahead and it's already got the rotate that, slide that little guy right back out. That thing almost jumped right out of there this time. But it's where I can maneuver it over, because what happens is when you go to reassemble all of this, sometimes there's a little piece in here that likes to, if you trip this up, it's going to release the block that is part of this disassembly key. Again, just kind of like push up on the trigger. Maybe I got to release that. Let's release that first. This is really tight in here. I'm going to go ahead and do this off of camera. Okay, that grip module is really tight. So that is something you got to take into consideration when you're buying aftermarket components, even if it's from the manufacturer. But here we can see an X grip versus X grip. You do have a little bit shorter grip length there, and I think you can kind of see quite a noticeable difference in the two when it comes to how this is more rounded and this is more kind of a rounded square, which I really like. I really wish they would have kept with this grip diameter, because they're both mediums, but this one feels so much nicer than what the other grip does. So go ahead and see how this one fits back together. Push that trigger in past where it kind of sits down there. Everything drops in. Go and start installing my takedown lever back into the frame. Rotates right up. Get her nice and tight. And now we have what would essentially be a M18 compact. Now they said magazines will still fit, of course, your 17 rounders, but you're going to have a noticeable gap in the bottom of it. So I went ahead and purchased the 15 rounders. Now the only thing that's going to get me for right now is black base pads, which Sig Sauer does sell just the FDE or the Coyote base pad, so I will probably do that. Which, I mean, it is kind of nice. I've got an easy descript thing to be able to tell if I leave these black pads on, then I know it's only going to be for that grip frame there, because on the other grip frame, obviously it's longer, so they're not going to fit. So go ahead and put that little guy back in there on my 17. So yeah, now I've got myself basically configured a nice little compact handgun. It's got a little bit smaller grip on it. Going to be a little bit less capacity at 15 rounds versus the 17 of the full-size magazines here. But it is just kind of a little bit better of a, you can kind of think it gives a little bit more of a better aesthetic as to the look of it. Kind of give you a three-dimensional look of her. Yeah, I wasn't totally sure when I bought this, because I mean, you get a $150 rebate, and of course I spent almost $400 on the Sig store by the time you get your grip modules, extra magazines, a trigger on it. Amazing how much nicer these triggers are, these enhanced flat bow triggers, than what the standard is. They advertise, I believe it's a 30% reduction in trigger pull. In the previous video where I went over just the base M18 compared to the M17 here, where I basically got an M17X with the exception of the actual M17X that's offered by Sig has a flared magazine well added onto it as well, and the Romeo M17 optic, which I do have another period of profit sharing coming, so I was thinking about actually purchasing one of those M17 optics to put on my M17 that I've got. So interested to see how that actually does, considering that optic is only designed for the 18 and the 17 because of the way their rear optics plates come. But I did go over that in the previous video. So I guess the only thing left to do now is let's go ahead and get some of the ammunition that I finally got from UPS from my Palmetto State order, after sitting in, apparently somehow it went from Hotchkiss, Illinois to somewhere in Kentucky, and that is the exact opposite direction to go from Illinois to Wisconsin here. So it should have only been like by road a 2-hour trip to come to my distribution center to actually deliver, and somehow it managed to go someplace completely different. Or Palmetto didn't say anything and just completely rebuilt the order and sent it back out again, because by the time UPS said that they had found my package, I had it delivered in approximately 2 days. So that wasn't too bad, because I figured it was just going to like disappear and I was going to have to do some kind of a thing with Palmetto. But I got to hand it to them. Either UPS came forward and actually like found that package and got it to me, or Palmetto basically just redid the entire order and shipped it back out again. But I got my ammunition, so I mean it took almost 3 weeks to get it, but hey, I got it, so that's the major thing. Okay, now let's go over something that is kind of interesting to me. I got the regular XCARRY grip on it, and as you can see, this was the original grip I had on it. That worked perfectly fine with it. One of the big things that you want to take into consideration when you're buying grip frames is making sure that it's actually going to fit, because our grip frames are only the actual grip itself is what has been altered on it for the X series anyways. Everything else, basically from your magazine release forward, everything here is identical to one another, which is important because that is what grabs onto most holsters. Is the front, of course your slide's all going to be the same, your safety, not safety, but your takedown lever, that's going to be flowing in the same. And different trigger, that's not going to affect it. You do have to run into issues if you do replace your magazine releases. It might be harder to manipulate that or get it to slide in. Now the holster I have here is a Blackhawk LC2 for the 365, not the 365, the 320, or in this case the M17 or the M18 if I take the light off. I was a little concerned after ordering all this stuff if it was going to work, which luckily, as I mentioned, everything forward of that magazine release is where it's going to lock in, And with it being the same dimensions as the original grip frame, that works fine. So that is one issue that I was a little worried about. Now the other one to take is that slides off there. For like probably the 5th or 6th time today, take that out, see if this is loosened up any. Not even slightly. Use my takedown lever for the exact purpose it was not designed for. Slide that out. Put the XCARRY grip off to the side. Go ahead and slide this into its little home here. Come on. I just not want to slide in there this time. What am I doing? There we go. Helps if I make sure. Now, actually what I should show. The way these slide in here, come on out, is there is this back lip here actually indexes into a pocket on the rear of the frame. So what holds this in place then is, of course, you get that start down in there, that'll hold that into the back, and that will lock in there nice and tight. And of course that just actuated, that snap you heard is the takedown lever went back, the retention piece went back home. So now you see more of it exposed there. And that's what that clicking you hear is as I rotate this back in to get it to go back into position. Okay, rotate that down so I can, come on, man, those things are tight. Install my slide back on my carry. Now, as I just showed you, and assembling it properly, locking the slide stop into position, snaps that in, and magazine goes in there without an issue. Now if you just lock it in place for like your disassembly, and you go to like disassemble it like you normally would, and if I can get that to slide off. Now if you go and just slide this back into place, rotate that without actually locking it in, your magazines don't fit. That takedown lever needs to have that click. So now you know that everything is locked back into position for that grip, for the actual, oh, not the grip itself, but that now I can't think of the word is. Your fire control group, there we go. I knew I was going to find it eventually. So now the question I was thinking of is, this is a little bit shorter and everything for your front dust cover, and that does fit without any issue, which is good. That means I don't have to find yet another holster other than this Blackhawk. Now I do have another Blackhawk holster coming as well, the Blackhawk Serpa, because I figured why not, with the internet's most hated handgun, the 320 series, have the internet's most hated holster to go along with it. Since there's been a whole bunch of gun ranges and stuff that banned any use of the Serpa holster, just like it's being reported that they've banned any use of the 320s. So that's the beauty of having your own private range like I do. Basically, it's just I've got it set up on our property. I'm the only one that's ever back here half the time, and it's whatever rules I want. So if I want to run a Serpa, I will. I want to shoot 320s, I will. It's not going to matter to anything else. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous little segment, but I'm going to be shooting 9mm, not Luger, 9mm NATO. It's a little bit hotter than what your Luger stuff is. It's still going to chamber in any of your handguns. This is loaded more to a +P, the NATO spec ammunition is. This is Winchester Valor, and this is what I got. Took a long time to get it, so I got my Garmin chronograph out, and I'll be chronographing the velocity difference between the M18 and, of course, the M17, so we can see what the difference is for velocity between that shorter barrel and the little bit longer barrel. I haven't done any of that yet because I believe when I was going over the M18, I did not have any ammunition yet. So now that I got some ammo, let's go ahead and do the fun portion of gun tube videos. Okay, get the chronograph turned on. Session pistol. 124 selected. Okay. So I got 7 rounds loaded up of the 9mm NATO and 124 grain Winchester Valor. Let's go ahead and get 7 readings of muzzle velocity with the Sig M17. This is a 4.7-inch barrel, I believe. I'll have to look that back up. 7 rounds, slide lock open like it was supposed to. I think in large part because with the way I'm gripping it, my thumb isn't able to come close to where the slide stop is. So unlike other semi-auto handguns, I have an issue with no slide lock. That's because my thumb has a tendency to ride on that slide release. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and push this over to the phone so you can see, oh, probably right up here somewhere, I'm going to have the velocities from the, geez, I'm drawing a blank here. My M17 by Sig Sauer, the P320, the commercial version of course, the military's M17. I've gone over the differences on that in 2 previous videos now, so you can kind of go ahead, maybe look back at those if you want to. And as I mentioned, I got the velocities up here as to what the M17 here is going to be running. Now next, we're going to go ahead, load up 7 rounds of the Winchester ammo here in the 9mm NATO in the M18, with of course, it's got an full-size grip on it, so I don't have my slow motion camera, so we're not going to see any slow motion today. My Insta360 Ace Pro. I wasn't thinking about that when I came out, so we'll just do some basic from this video. You'll be able to see off of my newest bag I just got by Caldwell off of Amazon. It's amazing what all you can find on Amazon. But next we're going to go over the M18. Okay, I've got the chronograph set back up. Next we're going to be using another 7 rounds of the Winchester 124 NATO, and this is the first time I have shot this handgun. Let's see if she will register. Quite a bit snappier than the 17, I think. Readjust my eye pro. This is why I don't hardly ever wear any eye pro, because it fogs up so quickly and so badly for me. I already can't even see out of the right eye of it. And 7. Again, no malfunctions, no issues with slide lock. I have actually not cleaned this handgun at all or gone over it like I normally do, so we'll see how long it will last before I actually break down and completely disassemble it and oil it up with my Slip 2000. So yeah, that's 7 rounds. I'm going to go ahead, load that over to the phone so that way I can display it up here for what the rounds were. So let's go ahead and I'll go back, select end session, and I should be able to get that loaded up on my phone, and as I mentioned, it should be displayed up here for this duration. So what I'm going to do next is go down, actually shoot a magazine a piece out of this and the M17, of course, so you can kind of see when it's freestanding. When you got it set up on a bag like this, it might be a little bit of a false reading because you're more relaxed when you're shooting as opposed to when you have a full grasp on it and you're actually shooting it like you should, as opposed to just trying to get some velocity readings, because right now that's all I'm interested in, is finding out what the velocity is. So okay, let's go ahead, go down range, and see if I can't hit a steel target at 15 yards. Going to go in a little bit closer than I normally do, so that way I can hopefully maybe hit one of my targets, as opposed to firing off a couple full magazines and just pretty much hitting the trees all around, feeling like a stormtrooper energy there. So go ahead, get loaded up. Next up, we're going to be down at the more wooded area. Okay, so I've got 17 rounds loaded up of that 124 grain NATO. Safety's on. Pistol is now loaded, 15 yards at my steel target. See where my mark is. 17 rounds. Next up, we're going to be going over to the M18 in the standard configuration with the X grip on it. And okay, let's go to that next. Okay, what I got on is the 3-pocket. This is, of course, by Farmer Rain, matched up with their matte black rain jeans. Now, this is, I do a lot of field testing, so I do wear a lot of their garments on a regular basis, and that's why I usually go with anything for like holsters are going to be Kydex. And this has got plenty of area that if it does get wet, I'm in the rain is going to run right through it. But, as I mentioned, got the XCARRY grip on the M18 is up next. Get that loaded up, and we're going to go ahead and shoot 17 rounds. That is 17. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to put the compact grip frame on it and switch over to the 15-round magazines after this. Actually, I guess, you know what, since this is kind of an M18 video, I got 2 more 17 rounders here. Let's go ahead and shoot those and give this one a good workout. Can't really reload very well out of a back pocket. Last string didn't really yield a whole lot of positive hits, but the handgun is definitely getting hot, so I'm going to go ahead, slap this slide assembly off of it, switch it over. You can definitely smell that, it's almost like a white lithium grease. Reminds me of the grease we used to lube up the chains on the hay conveyors when we were loading small square bales into different barns at home. So, man, like they said, you'd be surprised what reminds you of the past. Next, we're going to switch over, as I mentioned, and shoot some of the compact grip. Okay, so I guess I'm going to try my compact grip frame portion again because it stopped recording. What I've got on is the Farmer Rain limited edition. This is a shiny green. As I mentioned, it is a 3-pocket design, so you got 2 there, 3 up there, 3 pockets, and it's got a front closure with a storm flap, so that way it keeps the rain out better. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be going over to the compact grip frame. I also have on the shiny rain jeans by Farmer Rain. Now, the matte ones I had on previously with the shiny black. These are shiny black 3-pocket with the matte jeans. Now I've got on a shiny green 3-pocket with shiny rain jeans. It gets confusing when you're talking about it. But this fabric and the other matte fabric is what they currently offer for rain jeans, and they also have different jackets on their website. Go to farmerrain.com. You can find these while they still have them, and the shiny black 3-pocket that I had on for the regular the Carry X frame, and then the M17 X that I have. So that is going to be current stuff that they're always going to have. This shiny green, when it's gone, it's gone. So with that being said, let's get to the portion of shooting and hope that my camera doesn't shut off this time. I gotta check it, I don't know. Okay, still recording. Oh, guess what? If you want a gun to go off, you got to rack it first. With the X-frames, it's a little complicated for me to get to the magazine release. Quick rapid succession. Hopefully my camera is still going so I don't have to try to film this again. And yeah, as I mentioned, go to farmerrain.com if you're interested in any of the coats or the rain jeans. I use them a lot. It's the easiest thing. Usually what I wear in the autumn and winter months is going to be going over to my Gap leather pants because they're a lot warmer than what these rain jeans are. But rain jeans are by far more versatile when it comes to, like, on my bench there's looks like some bird droppings on the seat and everything. These pants, you just wipe them clean with a damp cloth. Same with the jacket. So they get dirty, they're easy to clean up, or just go and spray them down with a hose. Yeah, I've gotten home before, had the rain jeans all completely muddy. Just turn on a hydrant, you just run your legs over the hydrant, washes all the mud right off. So not a lot of other fabrics you can do that with other than anything designed for rainwear. So with that being said, if that's anything that interests you, go to farmerrain.com. Otherwise, I hope anything else in this video you found at least interesting or educational. I've really been pretty impressed with these 320s, the M17 and the M18. Hopefully they continue to work pretty good for me. Again, didn't go off yet, so I guess time will tell what happens with the 320 platform and the 17 and the 18 with the military. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and stick around for the next one. We'll see what I do next.